Hey, my name's Jake from IceX, and I'd like to share with you a little guide to the Hallow's End achievements. Hallow's End lasts for about 2 weeks, but I think you could finish this in a day or two. There are a total of 13 achievements you'll need for this meta achievement. Completing Hallowed Be Thy Name will earn you the title, The Hallowed, and will get you one step closer to completing What a Long Strange Trip It's Been, and earning the Violet Proto-Drake. With the addition of account-wide achievements, any of these can be earned on any character, and they'll all count towards the meta achievement. So, to get started, you can head to an inn at a major city or town. There you'll find a bucket of candy with a quest. You'll get a handful of treats and the achievement Trick or Treat. You can do this as low as level 1. In the handfuls of treats, you'll find pretty much anything and everything related to the Hallow's End achievement, but you'll always get tricky treats. There's also a chance of you getting transformed. These can be buffs, which can be cancelled, or debuffs, which can't. Even though you can't cast with the debuff, you can hearth. Tricky treats are the Hallow's End currency you can use to buy all kinds of things, and you'll also need them for the achievement Out With It. For that, all you need to do is eat so much candy that you get an upset tummy and lose your lunch. Now, in handfuls of treats, you're also very likely to get masks. You'll need to get a mask for the achievement, the Mask Task. Remember, you can buy masks, wands, and pets with tricky treats, but save them. You'll see why later. They'll never know.
She'll never know.
They know! You can get toothpicks, which you'll need for That Sparkling Smile, and nerds, which you'll need for Nerd Rage. Nerd Rage involves getting 10 honorable kills with the Nerd buff. The buff lasts for 5 minutes, so you shouldn't need too many of these if you're heading into a battleground. Please remember, if you're not a frequent PvP player, be mindful of those around you in battlegrounds. Get your achievement, but make sure you try your best to stick it out the whole match. On that same note, those of you who are frequent PvP players, be mindful during this event that there's likely to be a lot of newbie players in your battlegrounds, so try and be patient with them. Another thing you can get are wands. Wands can transform someone in your party into various things. In order to get the achievement The Masquerade, you'll need to get transformed into all of them. But you can't use wands on yourself, so you need to find someone who has the wands that you need. Some people like to charge people for their wands. Don't buy into this. Just try and find someone who's willing to trade transformations with a wand that you have and they don't, or ask a guildie. I was lucky enough to find someone with all the wands that was nice enough to help me out for free. The next achievement, Rotten Hollow, starts in your faction's Wickerman camp, outside Stormwind for Alliance, or above Undercity for Horde. It involves doing 4 quests that you can do in any order. One is A Time to Gain, where you simply throw a torch at your Wickerman by using the bonfire. The opposite of this is A Time to Lose, where you douse the opposite faction's Wickerman. This will get you flagged, so don't be surprised if you end up dying a few times. The next is Stink Bombs Away, where you talk to an NPC and go to Stormwind or Undercity, throwing stink bombs. The corresponding quest here is Cleanup in Stormwind or Cleanup in Undercity, where you go around cleaning up the patches of stink left by the other faction. The next achievement you'll need is the Savior of Hallows End. For this, you'll need to head to one of the towns where you trick or treat. Goldshire is the popular one for Alliance. Periodically, the Shade of the Headless Horseman will appear and set fire to the town. Get the quest from the matron and start putting these out. At a certain point, the horseman will come down and hurl fire at people. Eventually, he'll come down and he's easily killed, and everyone will get the achievement. I didn't actually get any footage of this because if you enter the town soon after the event, you'll get the achievement as well, which I managed to do every time. You'll get a crudely wrapped gift, which has a chance to drop one of the summonable broom mounts. Some of these can be used for 14 days after you get them, and some can only be used during Hallow's End. They will adapt to your current riding skill. The part that makes these brooms useful is their instant cast like Druid Flight Form. You'll also get weighted jack-o'-lanterns, which you'll need for the achievement Check Your Head. You'll need to throw weighted jack-o'-lanterns at each race. This does not include Pandaren. The best places to do this are neutral cities like Dalaran or Half Hill Market. These are not soulbound, so you can send them all to one character or buy them on the auction house. That makes this a lot easier. Now, you will need to be level 90 to do one achievement, and that's Bring Me the Head of... oh wait. You need to kill the Headless Horseman in Scarlet Monastery Graveyard, which you can queue for. There are basically 3 phases to this fight. For the first, you'll get the Headless Horseman down to about 1%, at which point his head will come off. Here's where it may be helpful to use a macro so you can quickly switch targets. Just make a macro that says /tar head up. You can't just use head because that's the same as Headless Horseman. Once you get the head down to about 2/3 health, the horseman will regenerate his health and get his head back. This time you do the same thing, but he'll fury you occasionally. After his head pops off for the second time and you've gotten it down to about 1/3 health, he'll begin the third phase. Here, he'll spawn ads that can be pretty annoying. Personally, I find it's easiest just to save all your big cooldowns for this portion of the fight so that you can get through it as quickly as possible. His head will pop off for the last time, and once that's down, he's dead. Currently, he drops the epic 370 rings, and once a day you can get a loot-filled pumpkin. In here you can get all the trick-or-treat stuff, plus things like Hollowed Helm, the Squashling Pet, and there's a slim chance at the Horseman's Reins. The next achievement is the one that will probably take you the longest, and that's Tricks and Treats of Azeroth. This is made up of 3 achievements: Tricks and Treats of Kalimdor, Eastern Kingdoms, and Outland. For these, you'll need to trick-or-treat at every one of the required inns in those 3 continents. You'll be going only to friendly towns, unlike Midsummer Flame Festival. There are also achievements for the Cataclysm Zones, as well as Northrend and Pandaria, but you don't need these for the meta. In the description, I'll put the locations all in the order that I think is the most convenient. It's important to note that if you've done the Thelsamar scenario, Thelsamar will be gone, but you can still get to the inn by talking to an NPC across the bridge that will take you back in time. Once you've done these, you should have a sufficient amount of tricky treats, so it's only now that I recommend you spend them on anything else that you need, namely the Hollowed Helm and the Sinister Squashling Pet. You'll need both of these for the achievement Sinister Calling. You can also go for the optional achievement, A Mask for All Occasions. You should have gotten most of the masks from trick-or-treating. Well, that's it! You've done it! I ended up having some trouble finding a goblin, so I had to go and hunt one down, but she was very nice. So, you're one step closer to the Violet Proto-Drake, and I hope you had a lot of fun along the way.